My name's Donna Green, and I'm the Executive Director of the Magical Moon Foundation. I started the Magical Moon Foundation about 14 years ago, and originally it was for children with cancer who were living with cancer. But after evolving over the years, it started to become about more than just children with cancer, but all of us. And we are located on a 5-acre farm, organic farm in Marshfield, Massachusetts, and it is all about going within and finding the good things within us and creating a world that doesn't have cancer in it. And now we've expanded it to other life-threatening conditions. So children anywhere from infancy to in their 30s come to us and change their lives. It's all about putting whatever we need in our body that's good for us, that feeds our soul, feeds our body, feeds our emotions. It's all about that. So we grow organic food. We have a lot of classes on eating correctly or for our health. And I shouldn't say correctly, but for our health. And the thoughts that we take in are all positive thoughts. Our mission is to nurture and empower children with cancer and other life-threatening conditions. It is all about focusing on a challenge, detaching from negativity, and turning focusing on the positive, detaching from negativity, and turning every challenge into an opportunity. That comes from a Native American medicine card for the crow. And it's pretty much how all the children come here. They come here with challenges and issues and disease and illness, all kinds of things going on in their lives, some with anxiety, some with eating disorders, some with cancer. And it goes on and on and on. But it's all the same. It's all about feeding our bodies what they need. The knighting ceremonies ceremony is very important. It's always a good thing to have a starting point and to choose a name that's empowering. So if I'm Sir Lexi, Legend of Love, and I have a brain tumor, it is all about a starting point for Lexi to turn that brain tumor into working for herself and other people. So, for instance, Lexi became a knight, had a knighting ceremony with a sword, got armor, a real sword, and her mission was to help children with something that was always an issue for her in going after good foods to eat. So her mission became to create a cookbook for children with cancer. The most rewarding part of this endeavor has been watching the children transform. Just go from a child who is sad and shy and introverted, lacking in hope and peacefulness and all those things, and just turning their lives around, becoming strong and resilient and smiling. The internships here are all about anyone, any youth. Right now it's 14 to 27-year-olds come here daily from 10 to 2:30 or 3 in the afternoon during the week, and sometimes on Saturdays, and they come and they give of themselves. And so they grow as people. It doesn't matter whether they are ill or just doing community service. Sometimes the courts send me children who need to just kind of go in a little bit different direction. But they're all the same. They need a safe place to be kids and to learn and to help others. People help on all levels. We always need funding. Funding is the thing that keeps us going. It goes into our program so that the kids have the materials, like right now the kids are outside decorating drums, and then we're going to have a drumming circle for a young girl in Scituate who is 17 and she has brain tumors. And so the way that they can help her is by making these drums and in her honor and having a drumming circle. The way people can help us is by giving us the funds for the materials to do that. But they come and they help. If they can't give us funds, then they come and they volunteer, they pray. We have a prayer chain. We have a card team that sends out cards to kids that need to know that they're being thought of. Lots of ways. People can help in all kinds of ways. I have about 11 million children's books in circulation. The most popular has been The Velveteen Rabbit. I have numerous titles that I'm working on now. Most of them have to do with children facing challenges. That was my past life, and still kind of goes on the side, but 99% of my time is put into the foundation and the children now. We have a huge garden, the Garden of Hope, that's about 3 acres, and that's all organic. We don't have any chemicals on the property. We don't have anything on this property that's dangerous or unsafe, and we are always looking for ways of making life healthier and happier for children. So the children that come here are, it's suggested they go on a healthy eating regime. Within that regime, we only eat coconut oil, coconut nectar for sugar, olive oil, high spectrum canola oil, all organic food, lots of greens, lots of healthy vegetables and fruits. We stay away from packaged foods, any GMOs. We stay away from any chemicals, preservatives, colorings. We have no microwaves. We keep all our food in glass containers, no plastic, and we drink lots of water. We harvest the food, we plant the food, we harvest it, we cook it, and we discuss what we just ate. Healthy eating isn't just about cancer, it's about anyone wanting to stay healthy. The outer aisles of the supermarket are the healthiest aisles to shop, but even there you can find things that are not good for you. It's our society is gearing the food production all about money. It's all about money. It's not about health. It's not about keeping our people alive and healthy. I guess in a perfect world, this place would thrive in the next 10 years. All the children that come here and have learned and have grown stronger will be the ones that run the foundation and run the farm, and it will stay here for as long as I can imagine for children in need. I'd like to see the farm grow as an educational learning center, a place where anybody could come and they could find the answers to problems in their life, and they feel safe in here.